my party. We're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare.
Just keep fighting, each and every game because it's any given Sunday.
Welcome to Mustard Cat Sports, folks. We got a special here. We got the after championship thoughts. So there's going to be some raw thoughts, some exciting thoughts, probably pissed off thoughts. My name's Lucas TA. We got two guests on here. One of them has been on here multiple times. You know him. He's Kyle. And the second one, Ben, who I don't even know who he is, honestly. So we got both these two on here. So let's start off with Ben. Ben, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey.
Great to be on.
Yeah. Hey, we're glad you came on, even though I honestly don't know who you are.
We've never met. This is the first time.
Never have. This is literally our first time besides a little chit-chat between getting this all booted up. No one knows.
Yeah.
We don't know each other. So we both, I think, know Michael Barnes and Ryan. I think that's safe to say, though. So
yeah, acquaintances.
Yeah,
acquaintances.
Yeah. So, well, let's start off real quick. I always like to do this one. Where are you from, and where do you currently live? You don't have to give the exact city. You can just give the state if you want to. But
yeah, so grew up in southern Minnesota.
Okay.
Hit up northern Iowa for a minute, and then moved to Wisconsin in high school. So kind of just the Midwest area. Went to college in Duluth.
Okay.
And then now I'm back in southern Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
In the Rochester area.
Yeah. That's where I'm from. That's where Kyle's from.
Yeah.
Kyle lives in Kansas now. Yeah. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
What?
Kansas is great. Kansas is great.
It's great.
Hey, that's Missouri. That's Missouri.
Yeah,
just to let you know.
Sure, pal.
Sure.
Yeah. Whatever you say. So obviously, Ben, well, I didn't really screen you or anything. They just, you just got thrown onto the show. You obviously watch sports.
Yes.
So what are your top sports that you mainly watch?
Yeah. So I'm a father of two small children, so I don't have a whole lot of time to watch all the sports that I used to. Football, I can usually pull off one Sunday game, and then usually the Sunday and Monday night and Thursday night game. Kids are in bed by then, so I'm allowed to watch those. Other than that, I will follow NBA basketball, probably secondary.
Yeah.
My first love was probably baseball growing up, though.
Okay.
Huge Twins fan growing up, but then again, grow up, schedule gets tough. Hard to watch 162 games when you got things going on in your life.
Yeah, no, that
props to those guys to do that.
It's a grueling schedule. I'm not a huge baseball fan. I've been getting into hockey, and hockey has a long that takes dedication. If you can watch even 3/4 of the games, that's wow, you're a hardcore fan.
Keeping up with those games, that's tough. I give them full props to those guys who have lives and then also can keep up with those sports.
Yeah. Well, then that also transitions into the next great one. You also said you're a Twins fan. So of those other two sports, you got a favorite team on any of those, or favorite players, or are you more or less just watch for the fun?
I would say I try not to dive too deep and let my days be ruined by the outcome of sports games.
Yeah.
But I struggle to do that when the Vikings lose. So this year was generally pretty good.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking end there. But yeah, it probably goes Vikings, Timberwolves, and Twins now. So baseball's kind of fallen onto the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is the last one. And this isn't technically the last one. This is the last sports one. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. When you were younger, did you play any sports? And then if you did, what were they? And then the second half of the question would be, do you play, obviously you already told me you got two kids, so busy time. Do you have any sports that you would like to play, or do you play any amateur sports now? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got the question. Yeah. So, youth sports, everything, right?
Yeah.
Everything but hockey. Should say that. Never played hockey. too expensive, too time consuming.
Can you skate though?
I mean, technically, those who can skate would say I can't skate.
Okay, okay.
Um, if if that answers the question,
Yeah.
I can't
But
stop. I can't
oh,
stop.
same here,
So
same here.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah,
So but yeah, soccer, football, basketball, baseball, all the stuff as a child.
mhm,
Then played baseball, basketball in high school.
yeah.
Ran cross country in high school as well.
Okay,
We don't to call that a sport, but good
it is.
physical activity.
Yeah,
And right now, golf as an old man,
yeah.
golf is probably primary.
It's a,
And then when available, I'll play pickup basketball.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
So,
Kyle's a big basketball guy. He's hurt his foot. He's done a lot of
oh yeah.
dumb things. So you
I'm still hooping though.
know. All right. Arguably, Ben, these are the two hardest questions of all time. You might just be able to just
Yeah.
shoot it right off the top of your head and be like, that was easy. I don't know what you're talking about. These are difficult. And these type of questions are gun to your head. You have to choose one of the two. You can't choose both, and that is what it is. Are you more of a dog person or a cat person?
That's obviously a dog person.
Okay,
That's
perfect.
I know this. I know the show is called Mustard Cat.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
can always
Well,
change the name of the show if you had
hey,
to.
I'll let you on a little secret once you finish the other half of this question. But so mustard or ketchup, and you have to live with that for the rest of your life. Which
Oh,
one?
that's mustard.
Mustard.
That's
Yeah,
not even a question.
there you go. There you go.
Ketchup is just sugar paste. Horrible.
I like that
It
answer.
it serves a
Hey,
purpose, but it's disgusting,
hey,
like in general.
I am a dog person, and I would take mustard. So probably,
Yeah.
truly, we probably should have named it mustard dogs, but it
Well,
is
I
what
mean,
Not the
Mustard
same.
Cat has a little of a, like a, I can see how that could catch on. It's got a little bit of a hit to it,
it is.
but
But yeah, no. So
the
difficult.
algorithm might like dog better. So
Yeah,
just
that's true.
little advice.
Well, so that's Ben. Kyle, I only have one stupid question for you because you've been on here. This is your third time now, and
It
so
is, yeah.
so Ben, yeah,
I'm still let him on.
yeah, we still let him on, but if you come on a second time, there's different questions. I think Kyle, this is the first person to be on here 3 times now. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look back.
Oh.
So
Making
congrats, Kyle.
history. What can I say?
Um, Kyle, we're gonna keep this one super simple. If you had a choice
Okay.
and you have to choose between this,
Are you
not
thinking this off the top of your head, or
no,
is
no,
this
well, kind of, but at the same time, I'm going through all the different things that Sam would give me in my head.
okay? All right.
You have to choose between one of these two. Would you rather live the rest of your life with a booger that goes in and out of your mouth, nose every time you breathe, or you have the worst BO and you can't get rid of it? So which one are you going to pick? You
For
can't
life.
pick for life, for the rest of your life.
I'd have to take the booger.
You're taking the booger.
Yeah, I
It's
can't.
literally going like in out, like it's coming way out. Like it's not coming down to your like you're not going to ever eat it, but it's gonna like people are going to be looking at it when you're talking to them because
Yeah, but like if I'm not facing them, they can't see it, but then they'd be able to smell me if I'm just reeking of BO. So at least I could like kind of hide my face, but I can't hide smell? So, and
well,
trust me, for how much I sweat is gross, but for how much I sweat and I smell after playing basketball and working out, trust me, no one wants me to have BO 24/7. No
all
one
right,
wants. So I don't want. I don't want that. So,
fine, fine.
but that was
Um,
an interesting question. So,
it's
what would you take?
what would I take?
Yeah,
I'm probably just gonna take the BO to be honest with you. And it's not much different than yours. It's just
I'd be self-conscious.
I don't want to look in the mirror and see this booger coming out. I know it's the time. So I don't know. I'd rather just smell the smell.
Yeah,
So
but then your clothes smell like it. Your bed's gonna smell like it. Like your house is soon gonna just smell like it. So all of a sudden, it's not you, it's your life. Like your car.
Eventually, you fall in love with the smell.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe I find someone else that stinks just as bad as me.
Yeah.
Some girl has a podcast asking the same questions. You met
Yeah.
your soulmate.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah. Ben, did you want to try and answer that one, or did you want to just
Oh,
glaze over it?
BO is the obvious
Yeah,
answer.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Kyle.
You work remote, nobody's gonna smell you except your
Oh,
family. And at that point,
perfect.
who cares? They're your family. Yeah, what are they gonna do?
how do you find a significant other if they
Oh
don't
well,
know
you
you?
already you start with one. Like that,
That's
you've
that's
already
true.
gotten that.
That's
So you have kids, right? Your
Yeah.
kids are just crying all the time because you smell like ass.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't smell that bad.
You can't calm them down.
I wouldn't smell that bad. I'd have that post-workout musk, but like not like a disgusting smell.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, well,
Dogs don't want to come near you. They're threatened. You smell like BO.
Dogs
I,
love that smell.
yeah,
Dogs
I
love
think
it.
dogs
It'd be
like
cats.
stinky
It'd be
stuff.
cats that would run away from you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dog would snuggle right up to you. My dog rolls around and poop all day. Just
that's not.
loves it. So
All right. Um, let's let's get into it. We're all here because there was two games today. We'll start off with the less, just because I feel like it's a little easier to just kind of skim over. At least that's my thoughts on it. We'll see if that's actually true. But the Commanders and the Eagles played first game. What did it end up even being? 23 Commanders, 55 Eagles. I wasn't personally expecting the Eagles to put that big of a stomp on them,
the,
but uh, I don't know what your guys' thoughts on that. But I was expecting the Eagles to win, but I wasn't expecting that big. But I don't know. The Commanders kind of fumbled the ball a lot, and that I think killed them in the end.
I think they have 4 fumbles. Is that what they had, or something like that?
is that what they finished with?
I think so.
I can look real
It
quick,
was
but
it was the third one that I thought was the backbreaker, the Eckler one, which I
yeah,
thought was the third one.
yeah, that one was
But I would
bad.
say the way I looked at that game is the final score made it look like a blowout. But if you
Mhm.
watch that game for the first three quarters, it's a game with
Yeah,
Washington with three turnovers.
yeah,
Four turnovers. I think the interception. Oh, the interception might have been after that. But when you fumble three times and lose those fumbles, I mean that's 20 points,
yeah,
21 points.
yeah.
I mean that's the difference in the game.
Yeah, so it was three fumbles, one interception,
Yeah.
and and no turnovers by the Eagles, which that
And that's how you win
yeah
games.
yeah
You
yeah
win
that
you win 4-0 in the turnover battle, you're gonna win a lot of games.
yeah
But I mean, watching the game, it seemed pretty obvious that the Washington defense wasn't going to be able to slow down Saquon or
Yeah.
the
no
Eagles at all. So it was just a matter of can Jaden have 15 play, 9-minute touchdown drives? And if he can, keep the game close and see what happens.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah no that's pretty spot on. Like you're spot on the if you watch the first three quarters, it was a close game. Like it was back forth. Obviously,
Yeah.
Washington had their fumbling issues and all that, but it was a close game. And then, yeah, if you were to turn that on in the fourth quarter, you'd have been like, well, glad I didn't watch that.
Yeah.
So,
Box
but
score, the box score analyst blowout, easy cover.
um, I think what did Saquon end up with three touchdowns? He did.
Yeah,
So,
I think it was three. I
yeah,
think Jalen Hurts had three rushing touchdowns too.
Three
yes,
and
he
I
did.
didn't know that. Jeez.
Yes, it was 3-3.
Yeah.
Um, so, wow, that was.
You guys
You,
want to touch on Washington not coming through for the whole league and forcing the refs to award a touchdown?
I
that
You
didn't
guys,
know that was a rule.
yeah, I did.
oh yeah,
I
Yeah,
would have, because I said I didn't know that was a rule. So I would have said, or I said, I would have just kept jumping out of offsides
yeah.
yeah,
Just keep
but
jumping on them.
yeah.
until
Force the refs
they
to do it.
actually snapped it. So,
I,
but I get it. Because you don't want them to do it like 10 times in a row. Like, so
Yeah. No, I get where the league doesn't want that to happen because that would drag a game on forever. But at the same time, I think that's stupid just to award them a touchdown automatically. Like, if anything, like this would be I feel like hard to like put out there, but it would have to be like something of like when you get the ball again, you're automatically, on the 1 yard line. Like I just they didn't cross the line. I feel like it's hard to like give someone a point if I get what they're doing. I just that's hard to be
It's
like, hey, if you keep doing this, we're just gonna award the team a touchdown. Like
it definitely feels like a remnant of like 1950s rule book when the game was being played and people were just like, well, it's not against the rules. I'll just
yeah,
keep doing it until you stop me. And then
yeah,
eventually they're like, well, if you keep doing it, we'll give them a touchdown.
yeah,
And they're like, okay, I guess that's the rule now.
yeah,
And
I
moved on.
I
yeah,
kind of get it though, because like you said, you could do it 10, 15 times in a row because you're just like
There's
focused.
nothing to lose.
Right. Like, so sooner or later, either you got to be like defense, you got to pay attention to the ball and the snap count, or we have to do something, you know?
yeah,
So it is kind of a gray area. It's a weird rule. So
They
they were
should
gonna
have made
get
him
in
do it.
anyways. At
yeah,
the end, the ball was like already in the end zone by the
Yep.
time so like there's no way they were gonna stop it. I felt like the third time or something, the Eagles were like, how many times can we F with them before they stop? So
it it was funny to watch. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. After what like the fourth time, then it started to be like, okay, now they're just trying stuff like jump over the line because if they time it right, they're gonna do it.
yeah.
But at the same time, it's like now you're just getting free shots, free chances. I don't know. The only thing I'm just hung up on is just them awarding him points. So maybe in that fact, they just be like, hey, you continue doing this, we're gonna deny you, you know, so many players. Like you can only have 5 people out on the field then. Like I don't know. Like
Just keep doing it.
yeah,
Just keep doing it.
but
You
but
just
then
keep
they
doing
just
it.
keep pulling
The,
people away because I
Get
like
down to one player.
the thing that drives me
First
nuts is
11.
you're just giving the
but if you,
Eagles the touchdown. Like
if you take
uh,
all the players off the field, you're just giving them a touchdown
Yeah.
too.
it
So
is, but I don't know. It's just in my head. In my head, it's like,
there's
well, at least they crossed the line.
you
Then
could do something weird. You could do something weird with loss of possession where they get a touchdown and the ball back. So it's almost like a reverse safety.
yeah,
Where it's
I
like
guess
they're
so.
gonna get a touchdown and they get the ball back.
In the ball,
So you don't
yeah,
even get the
Yeah.
ball. Like you gotta do something. It's
yeah,
it's one of those weird things. I just wish they would have
yeah,
made him do it.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
make them do it. Like if you're gonna threaten us with giving them a touchdown, give them the
yeah,
touchdown. Do it.
Right.
yeah. That's true.
And
Yeah, uh,
it changes
it,
the complete narrative of the game.
that'll be interesting
Nobody's
if that brings up anything in the Super Bowl because would the Chiefs do the same thing? Andy Reid's a smart guy, so
I mean, if you're down at the 2-inch line, I mean, you got nothing. Like you said, you got nothing to lose. You just
Right.
got to keep
yeah,
keep jumping it and hoping you get lucky. Maybe
yeah,
cause a fumble, but
yeah,
it's it's an ugly play. It's
yeah,
a, they've perfected it, but it's bad for the game,
yeah,
and they almost forced the league's hand. They almost did it, but then they backed out because they're cowards.
yeah. I,
See, though, like, and we'll get more into this, and I have more to say about this for the Chiefs Bills game, but like the Eagles somehow are the only ones that have it perfected though.
Yeah.
Like no one
yeah,
else, like it's only a cheat code for them. And so
Well,
like
no,
how does the NFL take that one play away from one team? You know what I'm saying? I know multiple teams run it, but the Eagles are the only team I haven't seen get stopped. Now I don't watch every game that the Eagles run, so like maybe, but like no one stops them. I don't understand it, but
yeah,
so
yeah, I mean, the Bills don't do it they don't try it the same way. They don't have the
no,
guys
yeah,
behind Josh Allen pushing him to
right.
the same extent that the Eagles do it.
And their
But
quarterback doesn't
they're,
squat 600 pounds.
I mean, yeah, he's big, but he's not that strong. I think the only way you can ban it without just banning the play, you got to make it illegal for offensive players to push other offensive players
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and just say it's a player safety issue.
yeah.
right.
Put that in air quotes. Player
Yeah.
safety.
Which,
Even though nobody's ever gotten hurt on that play, doesn't
No.
matter. Player
Yeah.
safety.
well, Mahomes did the
I
one time
mean,
they
yeah.
tried it, and they've
Yeah.
never done
Well,
it again.
if the defenders keep,
Jumping
flying
over.
over the defense or the offensive line trying to hit them,
Right.
eventually someone's going to get hurt. But
Which would be interesting if they banned like pushing players, because do you say just on the specific play, or do you say like offensive linemen now can't push the pile?
Oh,
You know,
I'd ban the pile push too.
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because
100%.
there's like
Get
a
in
lot
front of
of
the runner.
quarterbacks.
Don't get behind the runner. Get in front of the runner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And pull them.
Yeah,
Pull
Yeah.
I mean, I'd get extreme and get rid of pulling too, but you gotta, ease into it. You
Yeah,
gotta get rid of the
yeah,
guys
just do
coming
it.
in full speed and just jumping into the pile trying to push it forward.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
but
No.
I also hate the Eagles. So part of it's just a vendetta against the Eagles. I'll be
Hey.
honest.
Hey.
So I guess to counter that though is if the offensive players aren't allowed to push, are defensive players just allowed to run into the pile and hit back?
Well, it doesn't matter, forward progress. So
But
Yeah.
like,
if it's not stopped though, like if the
well, yeah,
running
they
back
can.
is still going, why
Yeah, you
is the
gotta go for a
defense allowed to
tackle.
go and run and just hit the pile, but the offensive player isn't? I'm just trying to play devil's
You're thinking too
advocate.
deep of a rule that's never going to get implemented.
I'm just I'm just trying to think about it. It just
Yeah.
seems like it seems like a weird place.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, you're right, Ben. Like, if they're gonna stop players from, the tush push and then pushing, Jalen Hurts or the quarterback, then yeah, you have to basically ban it on all sections. So you can't be pushing your running back. You can't push the runner. You can't push the wide receiver. Like you'd have to extend it that far. And not that I'm personally not against that, but if you're gonna go that far, and we'll get into this here in just a sec, but I don't know if we can trust the refs. Can you trust refs? They're part-time people. They're not full-time people. I don't know. Like, do you want more rules for people to? I don't know. I'm not saying no to that because I like the idea of
Well, the
having that, but
yeah.
I,
And the refs have always been bad.
they have.
The TVs are so good that it's obvious the refs are bad.
Yeah.
In standard definition days, if you guys are old enough to remember that,
Oh yeah.
um, you couldn't tell if the referees were bad.
Oh yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like, was he on the line? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's
They
so
they also
blurry.
yeah
Sure, they're probably
yeah
right,
they also didn't
but
throw it as they threw it, but it's a throwing league now. Like we barely have any runners. Obviously,
yeah,
Saquon Barkley is a fucking beast, but um, speaking of a throwing league, but yeah, it's definitely cleared up vision. So any person sitting on the couch can be like, boom, saw it.
yep. That's what I think. One thing they did get right at this expedited replay, they just got to implement it more.
Hmm.
Just
Well,
just
hockey,
let the
yeah,
eye in the sky call
yeah,
everything.
hockey does that more and more now. Like the ref will call on the ice whatever it is, and if someone up in the booth or whoever is running that, they can overturn the ref because they can be like, "Oh no, we replayed that. That's incorrect." And I don't know why the NFL hasn't implemented that because they have the funds, they have the money, they,
Yep.
they, they can put more cameras up there, and anyone that's mad that it's going to cause more like time delay, it might in the beginning because they're trying to get a rhythm, but they'll get it down where it's just like boom, 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 and then we don't have then there's less like was it a penalty? It wasn't a penalty. Were they being? It would get rid of it. Wouldn't completely get rid of it, but it would minimize it so much more.
Yeah.
And
I definitely don't think it would increase the time of the play. You've already
no,
seen with the expedited replay that they do now.
yeah,
It happens before Tony Romo's done talking.
yeah,
They make the update. So
yeah.
I
Um,
have to say though, I as much as I hate on refs in all sports that I watch, I don't like the replays. I'm not a fan of them. Like human element is part of it. It's like I get in big plays and
mm,
like certain things you have to, but like like are you supposed to review every call, you know?
yeah,
Like you're gonna get some wrong, you're gonna get some right, but that's just kind of part of it, which is
well,
funny because I'm gonna like contradict myself later.
yeah,
Like like in basketball, you can't review every foul. It's all about perception of what the ref sees. and players flopping and all this other stuff. And it kind of just is what it is. Like, I don't want to spend time getting it perfect, I guess. I don't know. It
Um,
doesn't make it fun to me. Like, I don't know.
well, not that we're trying to solve the whole issue with refs and stuff. Well, we might be, but I I'm not against in the regular season them not using it as much. Obviously, that can affect regular season stuff. Um, but I definitely think, and maybe this is just because it's the playoffs and more eyes are on it, more people are watching. So, the more people that are watching, you're going to hear more people complain, obviously, because complaining is always louder than cheers. And I wouldn't be against them just doing the review from above just for playoff and Super Bowl games and then them not doing it in the regular season. Even though regular season that could affect how teams win and then where you're, end up as in, but yeah. Kind of like what they do with overtime. Like overtime playoffs is different than overtime regular season. And that seems kind of stupid to me because if I am a person paying to go to a football game, I don't want to leave the stadium with a tie. I feel ripped off.
Yeah,
like,
I hate that.
like
I
it's
hate
an
that.
experience, obviously, but like, I don't want to like, I would rather just either leave the stadium either mad or sad because, damn it, we lost, or happy, rather than be like, hey, who won the game? Well, we tied. Like,
Every tie has a winner and loser. Everybody knows who won and lost a tie.
that's
You look at a
that's
tie, you know who lost, you
that's
know who
true, but
won.
like,
But yeah, I
you
get
know,
the feeling.
yeah,
But
like so
ties are so rare. You
they
get
are.
like you have a story, you have an experience there.
That's true. It's just like I don't know, and this is going off on another tangent. It's just
Yeah,
it sucks when like I really enjoy what college football did with their playoff or their overtime, and I hate the fact that a flip of a coin can truly change or make your playoff or not playoff, but your overtime. Because obviously, if you get the call, you get to start with the ball. You go down the field, you score a touchdown, it's over. Unless we're talking playoff rules, then the other team gets a chance. But if you're go down there, kick a field goal, the other team gets the ball, they get to go on and score. Obviously, it's you got to have a full, you know, defense, offense to win
yeah.
games. I get
Play
that, but
defense
yeah, yeah, I understand that. But like, you're
in a
willing
league
at
where
that.
you're not allowed to play defense. It's hard to
Yeah,
play defense.
yeah, like you're just it's I get the whole point behind that when people say it, defense and offense, but at this like it's an offensive league. Like defense don't win championships like they used to. Like it still is important to have a damn good defense. It will definitely help you, but you can get around that. There are ways to get around that. And I don't know, I'm not a
I think
huge
I think you're onto something there, but I think it's more of a quarterback question.
yeah,
The best quarterbacks play in the playoffs, so
true.
it's more obvious in the playoffs that if you win the coin toss, you win the game.
True. Yeah.
You put, I don't know, Bryce Young, give him the coin toss. Was it 40% chance he scores a touchdown at best?
Well,
30%?
are we talking end of the
I'm talking
season
about mid-season,
or
early
beginning?
season Bryce Young, pre-benching Bryce
Yeah,
Young.
no, I know what you mean. I just give you
But
shit.
sticking a name out there, I wanted
Yeah.
to say Sam Darnold, but I didn't want to throw too much shade at him yet. Um,
Well, in the regular season, he was great for the most part until
yeah,
like the last two
Spot
weeks.
on.
except for
Yeah.
3 games.
Yeah.
I get if they did college, I would be interested if they went college overtime, but I was trying to figure out like where you put them
Hmm.
because they put them at like the 25-yard line for
Yeah.
college. That what it is or something? Like that's too close for the NFL. I feel like that's almost
You'd
too.
almost, I mean, at that point, you're just doing the 50-yard line.
Well, yeah.
At
So
which
do
point,
you
you
do
might as
it
well
like
just,
the 50? Do you put them at like the 20 and say like you get a drive and then like on fourth down, you just have to go for it. And then if you don't get it, you put the other team on the 20 and then go I was trying to figure out how that works or how you would do that.
Well, Either way,
Or
I'm
like
not like I'm not against how the playoffs are now, or sorry, not playoffs, but the overtime playoffs.
yeah,
I just
everybody
wish
gets
they
a
would move
chance.
the overtime playoffs to the regular season, just because then no matter what, both both sides get a run at the you know
As
quarterback play.
You
Like,
want
as Ben
you want
said,
to
it's a player safety rule.
yeah, I get,
you want
yeah,
to hear a real radical idea? Play
yeah.
another half of football.
I'm,
Just play a
I'm,
whole half.
yeah, I'm not against that.
Or
Uh,
just a full quarter. Go back to playing a full
Oh,
quarter, you know?
10 minutes is weird. Why?
Yeah, like
it is weird.
Why do 10 minutes? Why not just make it a whole quarter?
well,
Yeah,
because the team that gets the ball just tries to waste the whole 10 minutes anyways.
yeah.
Like
It's a good strategy.
it is, but
Hey, I want to move on, but before we move
Yeah.
on, I want to know
no.
your guys' thoughts on this because I hate it, and but I understand why it's a rule and it makes it what it is today. I would love if they just get rid of the kneel down.
Before we move on to this, can I just say this? Because it
What?
sounds like we're gonna transition to like the Chiefs Bills game quick. I hope Daniels doesn't have like a sophomore slump though. I really like him. Like
Mhm.
I think he's a beast. Although they didn't win, I just want to say I think he's gonna be
Yeah.
a star. Like I think he's gonna be really good. So, but that's all I want to throw in there. So I felt like we get
100%.
a lot of props and because the Eagles were good, but like I think Jaden Daniels got a little snubbed because his team lost the ball 3 times. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, I totally agree. Jane Daniels is electric.
yeah,
Knock on wood, he can stay healthy. The guy's.
yeah.
I wish I was as skinny as him.
And then able to take the hits that he takes.
Yeah.
I'd be
Like there's.
I'd be unconscious. But
Yeah.
well, Ben, you can be just like him. All you have to do is purchase his jersey, and you will be him.
That how that works?
I, I'm 90% sure that's how it works.
Okay. I'll have to look into that.
Well, now we're going to transition into full
yeah, sorry.
into NASCAR. So yeah, no, I'm just kidding. uh,
The kneel down.
so yeah, no, we can disregard the kneel down. It just
Ah,
the kneel down drives me nuts because I get you could injure people because then you have to run it. I don't know. It's not that
Uh,
big of a deal. It just irks me a little bit because then it
But
gets down to like under 2 minutes. They get that first down. I know there's really no difference between it's just the eye thing. It's the same thing as giving them the points. I want to see him cross the line. Like I don't want to see him just kneel it. Like I don't know. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just
that one
it's an eye test for me. It's like,
that one
oh,
seems harder to legislate. That one seems a lot harder to legislate out.
it is. It is. Like,
Spikes. Get rid of spikes and reevaluate all
yeah,
um uh grounding, intentional grounding. You got to
yeah,
reevaluate that entire rule.
yeah.
you're
There's been
saying to
some,
take away intentional grounding?
No, I'm saying you got to enforce it.
Oh,
yeah. There's
Can't
been
be
a
letting
lot.
Josh Allen throw the ball 50 yards downfield out of bounds and say, well, he was trying to throw it to somebody. Like,
I see what you
really? Guy in a Kincaid jersey in the second row?
I
Hey,
thought it was
he has the
him.
jersey on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was him.
And that's fair. He had the jersey on. So,
Uh, I feel like you would have to be like for the rule to get rid of the rule because if you took away the kneel down, I would just be like, okay, hand it off, and then my
and then
running back
kneel.
just slide. Yeah, or like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
like
get there's probably gonna be something else that happened. I don't know. It's just the eye test. It's I don't think you can take it away. I don't really truly think there's a fix. It's just more or less a gripe. It's like
no,
it
I get
sucks
you.
when it gets down there and then right like the Chiefs game, for instance, right when they got across that line, it's game, it's over. Like when they got that other first down, like it's just kneel down central. So then at that point, if you're gonna go that far, why don't we just end the game? Like why even run a play? Like I get they have to because technically there's time on the clock, but at that point
I
it's like
mean,
everyone already knows it's over.
if the
So
Bills could concede, just
I,
don't finish the
they
game. They
could,
could
they could,
just, we concede.
they
30
could,
seconds left. Don't.
they could, and
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that too. Honestly, like I don't know, like it's an eye thing. Like I don't want to see you do a kneel down. Like I guess if it's your team You're like, yeah, but it's not that exciting. Like, hey, I'm gonna watch Brett Favre kneel down. That's fun, cool. Like, I don't know. Very minute, like not really that important. I don't know. It's a
Yeah.
gripe.
I say if you
Also,
jump into the Chiefs Bills game, you could have avoided the kneel down if Kincaid catches the ball, and then it's a non-issue.
I was I was talking to my girlfriend about this. I was like, I know it wasn't the best throw,
Yeah.
but like, and it goes back to the Ravens game. I get they weren't the best throws, but you're paid millions of dollars to have a ball hit you in both hands for you to just drop it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I can make that catch, but I'm not in the NFL making millions of dollars to make that catch.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. One of my notes here is tight ends question mark. Game on the line, throw the ball up in the air to your tight end.
Yeah.
yeah, that was interesting, but
In Allen's defense, he was rushed. It was a fourth
yeah,
and 5 after a timeout. They had no way of preparing for that play.
right. Based
Like,
on what actually happened, that was an amazing play.
yeah.
If he would have caught it.
If he would have caught it, the end of the game would have been would have been another classic. It
Right.
would have, I mean, it was already a really good game, but it might have gone down as an actual true classic,
Yeah.
like the 13-second game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Because they would have been right on that field goal line.
yeah,
And then
2 minutes left,
are
down
they able to
3.
get in? Yeah. So
So, my whole annoyance of this whole game, and it was a good game. I'll give it that. It was a close game, and I would rather have a close game like this, back and forth, rather than wild card weekend, where there was one good game and what was it, the Buccaneers and um, Commanders?
Washington Bucks.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Otherwise, it was a blowout. There wasn't. It wasn't even like what we were just talking about, the Eagles and Commanders. It wasn't that because those were close, and then it turned into nothing. Like they were non-existent. At least this one was existent, so I'll give them that. But the two plays that really drove me nuts, and I don't really care for both these teams, but I have more not liking to the Chiefs. But um, I would have rather seen the Baltimore Ravens go. I want Lamar to get his Super Bowl. That's just me, though. I'm a big purple guy.
Yeah. I'm a huge participation trophy kind of guy. I'd rather see the team that was worse win the games. That's that's what sports is all about to me. Be worse at the game, but you get to keep going, advance, win a championship. Here's your ribbon for losing 3 rounds too early.
yeah. I
Hey,
mean,
man,
Lamar's great.
I,
If
He is
I
great.
Lamar wins the Super Bowl every year in the regular season.
Yeah. September champs,
Yeah. There
September,
you go,
October.
boys.
Yeah.
I
Player of
wasn't
the
trying.
month. He
I
he
wasn't
has
trying to
nice play.
move him into. That was just the team I was rooting for, and they lost. They lost. They did not come through. But
At least,
that was if I had to pick a dog to fight for, that was my dog. And
Well,
then
tell your
going
tight
into
end
this,
to catch the ball. So
yeah, I know
yeah.
tight ends again. But the two plays that drove me nuts in this game, and unfortunately they were refs again, or at least a review. The first one was the catch. I think it was first quarter or whatever, with
yeah.
the Kansas City Chiefs going down there. They had a review. Did the ball hit the ground? Did he catch it? Blah, blah, blah. That whole thing reminded me of the Dez Bryant
Mhm.
catch in Green Bay, and they did not call that a catch.
Well, by the rules, it wasn't a catch.
Yeah, yeah, I know. and and now it's a catch. I get they redid the rule for that. The ball hit the ground.
Was
Uh,
that the Xavier Worthy
Yeah.
one where the
yeah,
defender caught it, and
yeah,
Yeah.
then by the
and then
time they got to the
he
ground,
caught it, and they all went down together, and the ball went like, and the ball
yeah,
he held on. Like, I just like it's a close game in the end. I think, yeah, I don't know that was a momentum building point. I don't know. I don't agree with that call at all. I think that was definitely not a catch, and it shouldn't have been called a catch, even though they reviewed it and they said it was a catch. But
Well, they
you know,
said the play stood because they called it a catch on the field,
yeah,
like
yeah.
so
I
and
just that
I
that
mean,
pl- that play drove me a
I
little.
totally agree. I don't know how you can watch that play and tell me Xavier Worthy caught that ball. If you told me the defender intercepted it, I
Oh, yeah,
could buy that. He
yeah,
caught it, high pointed it.
yeah,
If it touches the ground on the high after, all the way down, all right, sure. Xavier
yeah,
Worthy barely had his hand on it.
yeah,
so
Now, the silver lining with that is they declined a hold on Travis Kelce where they basically tackled him. So it's
yeah,
not like an interception would have stood. It just
yeah,
would have been Chiefs ball 15 yards
yeah,
further away from the end zone.
yeah. It just
um
I don't know. I'm a true believer on momentum, and even though that's not huge momentum, but you're down that like I don't know, just that wasn't the be all end all, but that did not like I'm trying to get the
You want
Chiefs.
to,
The Chiefs have had a golden gauntlet from the refs the whole year,
oh, you're,
and and it's just
like,
like I
so you
want
don't
that.
watch the games.
I want that to not happen. I want them to be the Patriots, and I want them to cheat or just be damn good. And I just don't want them to.
Do
I don't
both.
want the refs to get in their way. Like I just like it's
Well,
it's hard for
so
me to justify like when there's a little bit of favor. It feels like there's favoritism, and they did a way better job, I'll say, in this game than they have in past games. But yeah, I don't know.
I
Also,
mean, were
also
you
the Bill.
watching the game when it was 29-29 with about 6 minutes left and they missed an obvious face mask that would have given the Chiefs a 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, and instead they had to punt?
No, I was kind of gone by that point because at that point, then I was already eating into the conspiracy where it's
Yeah.
over. The Chiefs won this. It's game and match.
Well, they obviously won. They won
So,
before the game started because they're the Chiefs and they're the better team. But
hey,
see, I
I
so
don't I get the refs thing. There's a lot of calls you
yeah,
can point to and a
yeah,
lot of things. At the end of the day, good teams don't commit penalties. Bad teams do.
yeah,
Good teams win games, bad teams don't.
yeah,
Um, this game definitely was close enough where if you if you want to argue a ref made a bad call here or there on either side, you could definitely do it. You could
yeah,
I'm sure Josh Allen got hit a couple times and they didn't call anything,
yeah,
but I didn't notice any of them when I was watching. But I'm for the team that's good.
yeah.
So I wanted the team that was good to win. Because I
Hey,
like watching good teams win. I don't like watching bad teams win. I don't
you
try to
know,
just
you
put
know,
bad teams in championship games.
you don't like Lamar?
No, I like Lamar. Seems like a nice guy. Negotiate his own contract.
all right.
Not a
I
good, not a good enough quarterback.
not in the playoffs at least.
Exactly.
Uh
Well, when does it matter? Sam
he's
Darnold was great this year too.
he's a Peyton Manning guy. Peyton Manning
That's
sucked in the playoffs.
that's exactly it.
uh so
Uh,
I gotta go on my rant. I gotta go on my big rant. Uh
you better hurry because I still have that other play that we
oh
need to
yeah,
talk about.
go yours.
Oh, you want me to talk about the other play?
Yeah, I'll say mine. I'll say mine. I'll say
The
mine.
other play isn't as blatant, but I definitely see it more. The one play was fourth down. Shit, I should have wrote it down. It was a third quarter. They were on right around the 50-yard line, and they had that camera view that was above. They kind of stopped Josh Allen and they pushed him back, but it looked like he got across the plane, but they started pushing him back. They didn't. They reviewed it, said he didn't get across the line. I felt like he got across the line there. I don't know. Maybe my eyes are shitty, and I do need a checkup on my eyes, so that could be on that. But I clearly felt like that was a first down, but it wasn't. Clearly, it wasn't. So,
I
and
mean,
yeah, I don't know. Those
behind that NASCAR flag, you got a Bills flag too.
a ghost flag?
A Bills flag.
Oh, Bills.
You live in
N
Buffalo?
no,
Let
but
me see it.
I should get one up there. Maybe I can put one
Yeah.
over here.
Let's say maybe put it over the Vikings one.
No,
Or
I'm
put
a
it over
big
the
Viking.
Packer. Put it over the Packer one.
I'm a big
Oh,
Vikings
that's right.
fan.
That's right. No, no, that one was too close to call. I expected them to give him the first down. I
Yeah,
expected it. It seemed like one where, when in doubt, give him the first down, but
yeah,
they didn't. So
yeah. That you know what I would thoroughly enjoy, and this might take a little bit of technology and some cash, but we're talking the NFL. We're talking the biggest sports fucking complex ever. Why don't they have any sort of like GPS in the ball and the line, and then they could see exactly did it cross the plane? And then we wouldn't have to do these camera angles because you'd have GPS like on the field in the ball. Obviously, you'd have to have a lot more in the football because you couldn't just put it in the middle because if the middle didn't cross, you'd have to have a tip on each end. But then are you manipulating the ball? Deflategate. I don't know. But
come from the guy
GPS?
who doesn't want refs to have cameras to review plays. He wants to put GPS trackers in the
No,
ball.
No, that was
I
me. That was
that
me.
was Kyle.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
all
oh.
for them.
All right, all right.
So I'm all for robots running the league. Robots. Even though I'm not a fan of robots, I'm all for robots running the league.
Yeah, the whole chain gang thing is definitely a remnant of a past time. They have the technology
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
not to not need that.
yeah,
But you talk about aesthetics of the game, and Kyle is all about it. He wants them to turn the cameras off,
yeah,
only play for the people in the stadium,
yeah,
and nobody can complain about the refs. There's no replays because
yeah,
nothing's on camera. It'd be
I
great.
yeah.
I think you need replays on some stuff, but like
No, nothing. It's
I
all
get
or nothing.
maybe all or nothing.
Um,
Yeah, I would say nothing then until something happens. I'll be like, why did you replay that? That's what I do. So
no, I get the whole chain gang thing because it's nostalgic, it's cool, but at the same time, like everything is progressing forward and like use the technology that can help you rather than hurt you, but still keep you got to keep the remnants of the past because that's what made the sport.
It seems odd you still need the chain gang when every other commercial break ends with an Amazon Web Service um, ad about ball trajectory and you
it's,
know miles per hour runners and distance traveled. And it's like, oh, you can track all that, but you can't tell me if they were down at the 4 yard line.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
no. So
percentage of making a catch.
yeah, yeah, I think he was 2 inches short.
yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. Like I just from all these things, I feel like there's technology out there that can be harnessed, used to make better. So then there's always going to be arguing. There's always going to be people debating
Yeah.
stuff, but like hopefully it's less and more clear, rather than the human element's fun, but at the same time, it's not.
I mean, the ultimate game point of the game is to figure out who the best team is.
True.
And I think they accomplished that. So they accomplished the goal, which is
Yikes.
identify the best team. And they're going to figure that out again in 2 weeks. Identify the best team.
It's
It'll be the
true.
Chiefs.
That's true.
They're the best team. And so it'll all work out, right? It doesn't really matter how you get to the solution as long as the answer's right.
It will be an.
Right?
I agree with the best team. I don't think the Chiefs are the best team because they don't lead in any sort of record besides.
Except for record.
Yeah, but that is manipulated. So like, I just you got to give me more. It's a whole team thing. I get it, but you got to give me more than just the record because the record. It's a record. I get it. It's what puts teams at the top.
Yeah.
But
Like
like it's not that's not how it works. Like
the
if we're gonna go about that way, Minnesota should be a way better team. And they're not. They were 14 and what, 3 or 2 at the end of the season? Before they
yeah,
went to
they
the
were
playoff. Before they
they
went
were
to the
the
playoff.
third or fourth best team in the league.
And I like at that point, before the playoffs started, before they even had their last game with Detroit, I would have said hands down that Minnesota was a better team than Kansas City. Because Kansas City still, actually, just kidding, they finally broke 30 points They never broke
Yeah.
over 30 points for the whole season. And there was four other teams that were in that same boat, and the four other teams were the Las Vegas Raiders, the New York Giants, Jacksonville Jaguars, them, and fuck, what was the other team? It was another team that had like 4 or 5 wins.
It was probably the Panthers. It was probably Bryce Young.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I think they had one good
They had
game
one good
where
game.
they just tore through
No,
someone. But and not that scoring points is everything. It's just like
sounds like it's everything.
you got like I don't know, you got to have some sort of offense at some point. Like I don't know. Not all the points add up to being like holding the trophy. Besides the fact
And
that like they just come through at these certain points and always win, and it just feels pushed. That's all I'm saying. And it feels like when the Patriots stopped being dominant, and then Tom Brady went over to Tampa, it was like, oh, now we have like no one there. And then there was a huge change because we had a bunch of rookie quarterbacks come in 2018 and 2020. So the league changed completely. And then it just felt like the league just Mahomes got this big elevation, and then the NFL decided that they were going to push one guy, and it didn't feel organic. And that's what really sticks in my head because anyone that just gravitates up organically, it's better for everyone. Rather than when you push something, there's going to be pushback more than organic. You're always going to push back, and
yeah. So
that's just like
I guess I don't see it that way. I see it
so.
as the Chiefs are really good. There was a quote Deion Sanders said once. He didn't. I don't think he ran a 40 at his combine.
Mhm.
And when the GMs asked him about it, they were like, "Well, how do we know how fast you are?" He's like, "I'm as fast as I need to be."
Yeah,
That's the Chiefs.
yeah,
They're as good as they need to be.
yeah.
How good do you
Hey,
need to, how good are the Chiefs? Good enough to win.
I
Now that
I
only works until if you keep winning.
yeah,
Once you lose, it's you don't have
yeah,
anything to fall back on. You didn't score 55 against the Jaguars,
yeah.
against Mac Jones and the Jaguars in September.
I
Those go Lions. But
I
well,
can
So the
I
Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season, though. So you're saying that
yep,
based on that, then the Bills were the better team coming into tonight.
they were the better team that yeah. They're the
Tonight,
better
coming
team
into
that
tonight.
game. They
No,
won
coming
that
into
game.
tonight. Because they were 1-0 against the Chiefs. If you're
No,
just basing it off record, yes.
you're basing on the whole body of work. Whole
But
body of
okay,
work.
so let me ask you this. So are the Packers better than the Broncos?
I would
Are the Packers better than Broncos?
I would say that they are not better than the Broncos.
Really?
Yeah. I think they're the same caliber of team.
So they're the
Just
same. Okay.
they're equivalent enough where
Are the
you're
Vikings
splitting
better than the
hairs.
Chargers?
Are the
The Vikings better than the Chargers?
This year the Vikings are better than the Chargers.
Are the Bears better than the Raiders?
Well, now you're getting into the dumpster fires of the league, so that's a little
Right,
tougher.
but who would you
But
take?
I
Who'd you
would
take?
say that the Bears were probably better than the Raiders.
And are the
They're dumpster fires, so which
but who would
dumpster
you
fire is
take? The
better?
Packers or the Broncos? I guess it sounds like you might take the Broncos actually.
I think that's real close.
I thought
Um,
I thought I would take the Packers, to be
I
honest.
think it comes down to if you think Jordan Love's the guy, because I think the rest of the team is going to be about the same, except the
Right.
Broncos probably have better coaching.
That's
Matt
interesting.
LaFleur is a good coach, but Sean Payton's a better coach.
Mhm.
I,
So I think I would take Jordan Love's upside,
okay.
like moving forward. But this given year, I think the Broncos have an argument to be made that they're better than the Packers
Okay.
this year.
So I get into that because the NFC North probably was the best division record-wise,
Yeah,
and you had the
Packers lost
Lions.
every single game in that division.
yeah.
And who? Who
I
did?
think the Packers lost every single NFC North game except for one. They beat the Bears
Right.
once.
But the Lions dominated probably the toughest division.
Yeah. Dominated the toughest divisions of all of us a stretch.
Did they lose a
That's a
game?
stretch.
Did they lose a game though?
They they won the first game against the Vikings by a field goal at the gun,
But did
saying
they
they
lose a game? It
dominated.
doesn't matter.
That's a good point.
they had what they needed to
Yeah,
do to
they
win the
did
game.
what it took to win, but dominating and doing what it takes to win are two different things. I never said the Chiefs dominate. That's
So
never.
I guess here's what I'm saying is that record can be deceiving based on the competition that you play.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So the Chiefs could have gone undefeated and played Carolina,
I mean,
all
they
these
could
other.
have, but they had the hardest strength of schedule in the league this year.
How's that possible? Did they actually? I don't know
Yeah,
that one. I'd
yeah,
have to look that up.
yeah.
But
One of I shouldn't. At one point, it was the hardest strength
okay,
of schedule
I
when they
guess
were still undefeated.
it depends on when that was, but or who else they lost to because they lost to the Broncos. That's a tough one because they sat a bunch of players, but
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't. I don't even count that game in my
but
head.
Yeah, that was a
taking record out before the playoffs, I would have said the Bills are better, the Lions are better, and the Ravens were playing better at the end of the season before the playoffs started.
I'll say this about the Ravens because I was backing them.
I
You were
wasn't going into the playoffs though.
well, even before the playoffs.
Lamar can't play in the playoffs. I didn't trust him.
The Ravens either showed up and they were lights out, or they showed up and it was like, oh shit, well, we're gonna have to fight for this one, and they lost. Like they were
Yeah.
so like not reliable. But when they did show up, they knocked your fucking teeth out usually. So, but
Yep.
when they
Anytime Lamar Jackson had to throw, they were bad,
yeah
and anytime he didn't, they were good.
yeah he's a
Yep.
runner.
It's a pretty simple strategy.
I will say this though, going into the playoffs, it's always a new season though. And so you take the people who know what they're doing. So I get it. Putting the Chiefs as the best team in the playoffs probably isn't unfair to say, you know? Like
Yeah.
I thought the Lions were going to be, I thought they were going to do so much better than what they were doing. I thought this was going to be their year to at least make it. I think it would have been fun to watch a Lions Chiefs Super Bowl, but it is what it is. So
Hey,
The Lions are tough because they're so injured.
their
When
defense.
you're on your third string defense,
Yeah.
and their defense let them down, so that's almost like hard to even hard to even measure that one.
Right.
But the having the team with the best record in the league and a bye, and the one seed in the AFC, saying that they're the best team in the league doesn't really feel like that much of a stretch to me. I would say this game against the Bills, they win 7 out of 10 times.
Who?
The Chiefs. They
Oh.
win this game 7 out of 10 times.
Well, can I go on my rant now? Because
Yeah, I
some of
think
that is
so.
part of that. No, some of it is like,
hold
so
on before you do. This is just a quick just a tidbit.
uh,
The Lions would have probably won the Super Bowl and probably won everything. Don't do that. if if they would have worn their badass jerseys, the black with the bright blue helmets, but
okay,
they
I thought
didn't.
you were gonna say if no
They
one got
didn't
injured, I'd have been like,
Yeah, turn injuries off.
I'd have been like, they were playing like it.
because those jerseys they should just get rid of their other home ones because those are gross. And those home ones, those other black with the bright blue fucking helmets, those things are dirty.
Yeah,
And they just need to make that their home jersey because those other ones are ugly as fuck. And if you don't look good, you're probably not going to play good. So
I've heard
sim-
that.
simple as that. But yes,
Um,
go on your rant now.
all right. So I don't think I've kind of bashed refs for sure for the Chiefs. Like, and it's not so much like that they have the most penalties, it's that when they get the penalties, that's kind of when for me it is. But this game, I don't think it was that bad. I think they had they had some interesting spots for the Bills. Like the face mask you were talking about, I don't recall that. Like I don't remember there ever talking about that, and I clearly missed it myself. Um, the catch, the one thing, or like the catch non-catch thing, the one thing that I hate about that is that Tony Romo said that the tie would go to the offensive player, which I think is just stupid. This is not baseball. And if the defender had it in the air and comes down with it, and then the offensive player tries to take it away, why would that go to the offense? Same thing. If the offense had it up and then came down, it should go to whoever had initial possession to me, I guess. Whatever. One thing, I think the Bills lost the game because the past two times I feel like they've tried to make Josh Allen like look like God. Like they try to do so many tush pushes when just give it to Cook. They had a running game going so well. Like when they scored on the fourth down to like tie the game up, they ran one run with Josh Allen, threw it three times.
Hmm.
You can't run the ball? Like, what do you mean? I think they tried to just put it all on Josh Allen's shoulders and say, go win us this game when you didn't need to do that. Like that was so like unnecessary. I think they should have had a different play call. Clearly the Chiefs watched film and that Josh Allen runs on those tush pushes off to the left side every single time. He never changed it once. Kept trying to do it. What are you doing? Uh, I think the Bills kind of fucked that up. Like, I think the Chiefs were kind of ready for it. I know they scored a lot of points, but I think they should have just ran the ball the whole time because that's what was working. Get into some play action, and then you're good to go. The one fourth down I thought was really interesting because the ref behind Josh, who I wouldn't think would be able to see the ball, overruled the ref that I thought would be able to see the ball, and the ref that I thought would be able to see the ball had the first down, and
Hmm.
the other one didn't. So I was really confused on like how that worked out because then it became what was called on the field. And so if there wasn't enough to overturn it, which is a big thing, right? Like if you can't overturn it, it's what's called on the field. So I thought that was interesting, like how that dynamic worked. Like one gave them the first down, one didn't, and then they went with the one who I felt like would be able to see less. But I don't know, it was what it was. Um, and yeah, I think this game actually shows how much of a genius and how much potentially of a goat Andy Reid is. Like the offensive skill set and the offensive plays that he draws up and designs are crazy. Like how many passes downfield did Mahomes really have that were like how many passes were over 10 yards, that actually like went in the air over 10 yards? Probably like maybe like five. But how many plays ended up being like 10, 20 yards off of like a 2 second or like a 2 yard pass? Absolutely crazy. Like Mahomes gets a ton of credit, and I kind of get it, but Andy Reid truly might be the GOAT coach. At least maybe even like maybe just offensively, but that dude is a genius, and it's crazy. That's my rant. So, but
Hey, uh, I
So
yeah.
on the Josh Allen fourth down, it seemed like they went with the ref. Josh Allen fell down toward the ref whose opinion they went with. Right, like because he always goes off his left hand side. So even
right,
though his body was turned one way, he went down the other way. So they went with him. I agree. It seemed like from a replay, it seemed like you could see the ball better from the other guy's perspective.
right,
So that was a weird one. Andy Reid is the GOAT. He
yeah.
is
Hey,
he's an
Ben,
artist, and
Ben,
Patrick Mahomes is like I don't know how the
He's
best
the puppet.
metaphor for
He's
it.
the puppet. Like,
Yeah, it's like he's a genius this entire time, and he finally found someone who could actually execute his ideas.
right.
It's like I have all these great ideas and all these incompetent quarterbacks. All of a sudden, you get a quarterback who can do anything, and it's like, oh, this is gonna be so easy,
Like, I
and he
don't
makes it
want to
look easy.
try to, yeah, I don't want to try to take too much away from Mahomes, but like, for how many people brought up the question of Brady, Belichick, like, is is it Brady? Is it Belichick? Like, this one to me is almost like Mahomes would still be good, but would he be where he's at without Andy Reid? And I don't think so. Just
Yeah.
because, like, Andy Reid, I don't know how he does it. I don't know who else is helping him, but that dude is a beast. Like that
If
dude is
anything, Mahomes Reed is a better conversation because Reed's calling the plays.
Right.
right? The Brady Belichick one was like, well, Belichick's just running the defense. So if the defense is great, obviously Belichick helps. But
Mm.
Brady's doing like they don't even talk to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
With Reed and Mahomes, like Reed calls the plays. He designs the scheme. You're not gonna know the answer to that question unless Reed retires
Right.
and
Which
Mahomes is on his own. That's
right.
you're not gonna know.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting.
It will be,
Because
but
I don't know why Reed would ever retire.
especially now.
I think he said once he's like, I'll retire when Mahomes retires.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you
That's true.
can coach till you're 90. Pete
Yep.
Carroll just got a head coaching job at 73.
Yeah,
Jeez, most people are dead by then. Like
I don't think that's talked about enough. I think Andy Reid like kind of
I
gets his
think
props, but I think he gets slighted because everybody's like Mahomes. And it's like,
I think this super when they win this Super Bowl in 2 weeks. Spoiler for my preview coming up.
Hey, thanks for
Um, but,
ruining it.
but when they win the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, I think that conversation of Reed Belichick is gonna really take on a
it
life of
has
its
to.
own,
Yeah.
and it'll be like Belichick's done, assuming he is actually done, right?
Mm.
Coaching college, whatever, it doesn't count. But Reed's gonna catch him in everything.
Hey, why don't you tell that to Harbaugh?
Well, I mean, Harbaugh's 30 years younger, so he had time to go back and forth a couple times.
I get what you
But
mean.
but I mean, if Belichick wins a national championship at North Carolina, I mean, I'll revisit this and go, you know what? Actually, he might.
Maybe.
I don't care what Reed does in the NFL. Like,
Well,
doing it in both places counts.
2 points off of basically piggybacking off both of you now. The whole, fourth down the line thing, hey, we were just talking about we put GPS in that ball, GPS on that line. Doesn't matter. We already know if he did it or not. It's game. So
Computers are rigged, easier to hack.
The
oh,
Russians are hacking them.
oh
What do you
shit.
Yeah,
Oh shit. I can't control it.
you
We
want
got a touchdown.
Jeff Bezos controlling the outcome of games?
And the Bills won. Everyone gets free shipping for the rest of the year.
if you're a Bills fan?
Oh
Not
yeah,
worth
yeah,
it.
yeah. Only a Bills
Not
fan.
worth it.
Um, and then the other thing, which is more serious thing, um, even though I hate on the Chiefs a lot, um, and it may or not be true, we'll never know because we don't really know the truth about a lot of things unless you're actually in the trenches, because those people probably know a little more than we do. But it makes me a little more mad that that aspect of the Chiefs aren't talked about as much. The Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes connection, or just Andy Reid and the Chiefs connection as a whole, rather than it's more or less the talk of did the Chiefs rig or get a free handout? Oh no, the Chiefs are the best. I would like I can understand both sides. I truly can. I'm usually more or less on the other side, but I can truly see that. But I do agree with you guys. Andy Reid, even when he was in Philadelphia, he wasn't as good, but he still made some magic happen back in the TO days and all that. He still brought them to, I believe, a Super Bowl with,
Yep.
I think McNabb was still running. They didn't win, but dude's good. He if he can have the correct weapons and people in certain spots, he can build a empire, and he clearly has. And that that definitely sucks that gets a little overshadowed, maybe even a little more overshadowed than it should. So maybe if they do win again, that will come forth more rather than the whole underline where everyone seems to just stay at, which sucks at some point, mostly.
I think it's one of those things that'll be highlighted in retrospect. People hate
True,
greatness when it's
true,
happening.
true,
Yeah.
For whatever
true.
reason, people hate it. You
Mhm.
watch when people are dominating, everybody hates it.
True.
Unless it's Michael Phelps in the Olympics, like that's maybe the exception.
That's
But
No.
it's at a US level.
Olympic athletes, if they're dominant, universally celebrated
Right.
because they're representing the country and everybody's on the same side.
Yeah, yeah,
But in all other major sports, if
yeah,
somebody's great,
yeah,
most people hate them.
yeah.
And then
unless that's your team. That's the only way.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah,
if they're your team
yeah.
or you're a neutral observer who
Yes.
can just, read the room, see the facts
Yeah.
and make decisions based on the facts on the field,
Yeah.
not, bias and narrative.
Yeah.
So, but people are going to hate him, right? People hated the Patriots.
Yeah.
Now people hate the Chiefs, right? What did Batman say? Die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the Chiefs were losing to the Patriots in the playoffs, it was crap. Go Chiefs! I hate the Patriots. Fast forward
Yeah.
5 years. Gosh, I hate the Chiefs. They're too good.
Yeah.
They're too good.
There is that aspect.
You could spin it, spin it to other sports. LeBron James. People hate LeBron. It's like, why do you hate him? He's too good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great reason to
Also,
hate him, I guess.
I think he just talks a little too much trash, but that's just my opinion. But
Well, when you're the greatest of all time, you're allowed to say what you
that's true.
want. So,
I still think
but
Michael Jordan has something for him.
yeah,
I'm, I'm
sure.
a Jordan
I
guy.
guess I love I love when people are wrong. Everybody has the right to be wrong, but
Well, as much as I would like to make this an even longer podcast, we can't do that. Otherwise, we
I
could
go
talk
really
about
long.
basketball. But basketball's season is just prospering, so maybe we have you back on. We talk about that. But
Well, we can go. Let's go.
and I'll tell you this: basketball is my absolute worst sport that I know anything about. So I'll be terrible at it. So
Perfect.
Basketball is the easiest sport to have takes about.
Whoa,
that
whoa,
Absolutely
whoa.
the easiest. The
that's
game is
true.
so simple.
But
Whoa,
I
whoa,
don't.
whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Triggering him. You're triggering.
If anything, they need to shoot more threes. Play less defense and shoot more threes.
Cross half court, it better go up.
I don't even know why they're crossing half court.
Some of them aren't strong enough to get it there.
I guess that's fair. Cut them. Get stronger people.
Get in the way.
What was it Dwight Howard that had the big shoulders?
He, I mean,
He
he
was
was
big.
one of them. Yeah, he was big.
No, big shoulders. He had really
Yeah,
big
he was a big
shoulders.
guy. Like,
Big
yeah,
shoulders, like
yeah.
thick shoulders. Bet he could probably throw that ball all the way down the fucking court. Ben. That's what I'm saying, Ben. Basketball, I'm terrible at. I'm not I need to get a little better at that one. Really bad at that one.
I will say, Ben, I'm more of a college guy than a NBA guy, though. So,
Okay. Okay. You
Ugh.
prefer a worse product.
see,
Players who are less skilled. But playing harder, I'll give you that.
so I'll
Playing
tell you
harder,
this. If you
usually.
want to watch better skilled players, you watch the NBA. But if you want to watch better basketball, you watch college.
I can see the argument.
Okay.
Well, before we go on to our last segment, which will be pretty quick, do we have anything else we want to cap off with that game specifically, the Bills and Chiefs?
I have one last thing.
One last thing? Okay, go
It's
for
not
it.
specifically Bills and Chiefs, but it's kind of the whole night. We saw
Okay.
it with Commanders, Philadelphia as well. In the next 3 to 5 years, there's going to be a renaissance in the NFL. Fourth and second is an automatic go for it. There will not be a single team in the league in 5 years that is punting on fourth and two and less anywhere on the field. They
Anywhere.
can be backed up on their own end zone. If it's fourth and two, we're going for it.
You think
There's
so?
not going to be, yep. Within 5 years, only the bad teams will be punting in that situation. Field goals will be situational, right? If you're in field goal range, on the edge of field goal range, depending on the score, late game situation.
Yeah.
But if you're on your own 30-yard line and it's fourth and two, going for it automatically, no questions asked.
I can
Bad teams will still punt
Yeah.
because bad teams have bad quarterbacks and bad offenses
Mhm.
who don't
You
believe
say-
they can get 2 yards.
Do you
But
say this because more teams now are going for it, or
you're seeing it with the
just
Commanders are doing it, the Eagles are doing it, the Bills are doing it.
so you think it's just gonna just continue?
I think it's just everybody's gonna see it and go,
The
wow,
Lions-
Washington made it to the NFC Championship game. The Lions were doing it.
Yeah.
Washington, what was supposed to be a
They
bad
went for
team,
so
the
much.
most fourth downs. They just went for it every time.
Mhm.
Every time. Now your percentages are gonna get better as you do it more, right? But bad teams are gonna be unsuccessful.
Mhm.
Good teams will be successful. It's gonna create a larger divide between the good offenses and the bad offenses.
Yeah.
So I think that's the next big shift is going to be you're not playing. It's not first down, second down, third down. You got to get 10 yards. It's first down, second down, third yard. You got to get 8 yards because we're
Mhm.
going for it on 4th and 2.
I
Yeah.
could see it past like the 50. I think it becomes situational when you get in your own territory. Maybe like the 30, maybe you don't get any yards off a kickoff or something. Because like in the beginning of the game, or you like
I think they're going to go for it.
you just
Beginning of the game is the best time to do it. You got the
yeah,
whole game to make up for anything that happens.
that's
Mhm.
true.
Late game situation is where you're going to see coaches have to make
Yeah.
decisions.
Yeah.
Whereas like is playing the field position up like worth it?
Mhm.
And it's like, late in the fourth quarter. But first
I
possession of the game, it should be we're not punting.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
It
I
changes your
hope you're
play calling too.
yeah.
I hope
Puts
you're
the
kind of
running game
right.
back in play.
It would make it more interesting because nowadays you kick it, you get 7, 8 yards, and then you're just the first possession, you're like, all right, our team's gonna punt it. So you just
Yeah.
kind of
You'd
it
also
make
get
it make it fun.
defensive players would stop coming up on a third down with their hand up like it's fourth down, like it's a celebration. It's like, dude, it's 4th and inches and the team goes for it every time.
Yeah.
What are you celebrating a third down stop for?
Yeah.
That's another thing we could talk about celebrations because I hate them, but we can.
Okay.
That's a whole nother tangent.
Oh man,
That's a 2 hour conversation.
that is.
Yeah.
I will say this though on the celebrations. I wish they were as much where they let them celebrate now back in the days of T.O., Randy Moss, and all that because man, T.O. already did a bunch of stuff, but he paid for it. Would have been pretty cool to see that because I think there would have been even more celebrations. So, but
Yeah.
yes, Ben, I agree with you. I think that's a very 100% plausible thing that will happen because that, yeah, like we already seeing it this year and definitely, definitely gives you more opportunity. Your playbook gets more open because you have 4 downs rather than 3 downs, and yeah, and punters, not that they're terrible, but they're mediocre at
Not good
best
enough.
nowadays. Even kickers are getting to that point. They're mediocre at best. Like there's no top dogs anymore. Maybe we're just through a low point in the kicking career of the NFL. I don't know, but yeah, definitely see that. So
I think even next year you might see more. I think it really I think the Commanders and the Eagles and like you saw Mahomes, like the Chiefs go for it and stuff, and like it's all quarterbacks that can run like an RPO.
yeah,
Like, and then they can also run it themselves, like they have 3 options that they can do. So like it just gives them maximum opportunity to get 2 yards. So
yeah, no, I agree. Um, well, let's get into this last part, the Mustard Cat challenge part. There's going to be 10 points that we will go over. We're all going to pick our player or team, I should say, of choice. I'll mark it down on this sheet of paper. And at the end of it, whoever wins, they obviously win. There's nothing that they win. They won. They get the
Bragging rights.
satisfaction of winning.
Why do you play the game if you're not going to win?
I know. So, um, and everyone that's watched this in the past, we've done 30 points of it. We're just doing a smaller version of it. If I end up losing as the guest, whoever puts a punishment down in the comments, if I am the loser, I have to go do that punishment. If I am not the loser, then I do not have to do the punishment. So the point of me is not to be the loser, so I don't have to go do the punishment.
wait, hold on. We're missing a big thing here. Ben,
What?
Lucas hasn't won his own challenge yet.
I've never had.
Never.
I believe
Ah,
it.
no, that's incorrect. I never actually um, up or said anything, but the one I had Gary on, and we did a smaller version like this, and we only had like 8 points, I think it was. I beat him. It was for Wild Card Weekend.
Doesn't count.
Okay, then if we're not going to count that, then I haven't won.
We're talking about double digits or higher. You got 8.
Oh God, fine, whatever. Then I haven't won yet, and it's been like 15. So whatever. Before we start with our first one, what color do you guys want to be? I was too lazy to get another marker out of there. Ben, I will let you choose first, and I will tell you this: the pink one has won the most games, though the blue one has won some games. This one, the pen has never been in it.
I was gonna take pink
Okay.
anyway.
All right.
So
Kyle, do you want to go with one that's won something or has never won anything?
Do you normally take blue? Like what it
Normally, I'm usually the second one, and usually most people take the pink one, and I'm usually stuck with the blue one. But this one's
well,
never been put in play.
I'll take the pen. We'll see how it does.
Shit. What an idiot.
It is
All right. So oh shit. Dropping pens on the ground. The first one that we're going to do is Super Bowl picks. So unfortunately, we won't be able to unveil who was the winner until 2 weeks from now. So that kind of sucks, but we'll at least have an idea of who's in the running. So the two Super Bowl picks are either Eagles or the Chiefs. I will start this one off because I'm going to take the Eagles.
no wonder you've never won.
um, Ben, I'm thinking you're taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'll be taking the Chiefs. They will probably win by like 3 or 4.
Do you want?
So
Okay, hold on, Kyle. What's your pick?
uh I hope the Eagles win.
Is that your pick? It's not
It
hope.
is
Is that your pick?
it is my pick. I want Barkley to get one. I want
Okay.
Barkley.
Well, this is a side tangent. Whoever is the closest person to the points, if there's a tiebreaker, that's how we'll tiebreak it. Final score. Does someone want to go first? Otherwise, I can go first.
Does anybody know what the score was when they played last?
Okay, let's not cheat. Okay. You had
What? How's that cheating?
well, even
You
if I
think they're gonna
knew, even if
replicate
I
it?
knew it, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to go. Oop, got to make sure I have the right pen. Eagles 31, Chiefs 21. Real simple. Well,
simple.
I have to go that way. I can't say it the other way. I already picked the Eagles. That would contradict myself.
That's fair. You get the score right, you got your pick wrong.
I'm waiting on one of you two. You can go in any order.
What'd you say,
It's gonna
Lucas?
be it's
I
gonna be
said
30
31-21.
It's gonna be 30-25
Okay.
Chiefs.
Interesting, 25.
Yep.
Close.
Failed 2-point conversion attempts.
Ooh. Yeah, there's a lot of missed field goals.
Just
That's another thing. I think extra points are going to be out the door. It's just going to be 2 points.
Go for
So,
2.
yeah. We're waiting on you, Kyle. You want to take like 12 years to do this or
35, 31.
okay.
See what happens.
35-21. Okay. All right. On to Monday hockey. We got the Vancouver Canucks at the St. Louis Blues. Anyone have any strong opinions? Otherwise, I will go first.
it's your show.
Fine. You guys just want to piggyback off me. I see how it is.
I want to know what not to pick.
This is bullshit. Um, I am taking the Vancouver Canucks for two reasons. The St. Louis Blues have screwed me in the past, and I like the Vancouver's logo. So,
Well, they're about to screw you again because the Blues are going to win. So,
you're taking the Blues?
taking the Blues.
100% Blues are gonna win.
God,
Yeah.
you guys are bums. Another hockey game that we're doing on Monday is the Pittsburgh Penguins at the San Jose Sharks. And if you didn't know, the San Jose Sharks are my favorite team. They might be bottom barrel, but I love them. So we already know who I'm picking. The Sharks.
It's gonna be the Penguins.
Yeah, I'm going the Penguins.
The Sharks are so bad.
Crying out loud.
I will say, if Crosby happens to get traded before the game, then I feel like it should be a wash and doesn't count.
No, 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 no. If he gets traded, it's all right. You already picked it.
Is that a
They'll
legitimate
still
thing? Is
It's
he
a
on the
smart.
trade
there's
block?
rumor there's rumors.
Doesn't
There's
he want?
rumors. The
I've heard.
Avalanche want him.
Yes, I've heard he also said he wants to play with McKinnon before he retires. That's what I heard. I don't
That'd be interesting.
Be a little
know.
sad, but
It would be.
Monday NBA, we got the New Orleans Pelicans at the Toronto Raptors. And even though I hate the Raptors' new logo because it doesn't show the whole Raptor anymore, the Raptors fucked me earlier this week because I went against them. And I'm taking them this time. So I'm taking Raptors.
This one's a tough one. They're both kind of trash.
Thank you. They are.
And
this one I thought was easy, but after Lucas's pick, I'm not sure anymore. I thought for sure it was the Raptors, but now
Hey,
I'm
I
gonna
ha-
I'm gonna I'm gonna
I
stick to my pick. It's the Raptors.
okay.
RJ Barrett's gonna go off, but just sad that we're on the same side of that one.
I have gotten stuff right. I just haven't won the whole thing. So, don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad you're jumping on the same train. Just hope you're not riding the same train as every pick. Then you're
Yeah.
screwed.
Well, I
Then
definitely
you're
wouldn't do
screwed.
that.
Bueller, waiting on you.
I'm gonna go with Pelicans.
Oh, you're going to ride the other train. Look at this guy. All right. What about this one? Houston Rockets at the Boston Celtics.
Celtics win.
You think Celtics?
Yeah,
God.
they're gonna shoot him out of the building. 3-pointers all day. They're gonna be making it rain.
At home, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're just gonna be crossing half court. It's horrible to watch. I'm not gonna watch the game, but they're gonna win.
I gotta go with the home team. I would have gone with the Rockets at home. I gotta go Celtics at home.
I would go with the Boston Celtics, but they screwed me last week.
So
So
you take the Rockets.
I'm picking the Rockets because I picked the Rockets, I think, earlier this week. I don't have to look back at my notes. And I picked them and they won. So I'm riding the two. I'm riding the 2 game high. Well,
So
hopefully 2 game high. Hopefully.
basically, Ben, Lucas is either gonna destroy us or
I
he's
like our
gonna
odds.
win one time.
All right. 3rd game. Memphis Grizzlies at New York Knicks. The Grizzlies are gonna maul them. I'm taking Grizzlies.
Thank God, it's the Knicks. Obviously, are gonna win. John
Oh,
Morant's gonna try, but he's just not good enough. So
I was gonna take the Knicks as well.
yeah. And I hope you guys have just the worst Monday ever. So I just slaughter you guys through this. You know what? We got the Atlanta Hawks and the Minnesota Timberwolves for the last one. And I will say this: I normally am not a Minnesota fan, but the Minnesota Timberwolves have saved me multiple times throughout all these games that we play. I usually always jump on their train because I'm like, yes, yes. Because everyone else, especially Michael and Ryan, I love playing the game where, hey, I'm going to put a Minnesota team on there, and then they're afraid to pick the Minnesota team, so then they pick the other team, and then the Minnesota team wins, and I pick the Minnesota team. But psych, since I picked every away team, I'm taking the Atlanta Hawks.
thank God again.
Why? Trey Young is out.
So, what are you guys jumping on the Timberwolves?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Timberwolves. Easy victory. They're not even gonna play in the fourth quarter. I will say Michael and Ryan are notorious emotional hedgers. All they do constantly. There's emotionally hedging every single thing they think about.
So
So
then
they pick against the Vikings every week. They pick against the Timberwolves every game. They just they have no conviction.
they got to win some way. Either their team
Yeah,
wins or they get a point. One of the
that's
two.
basically it. That's basically they go through life thinking that way.
All right, last 3, all on Tuesday. We got NHL 1 game. It's the Dallas Stars at the Vegas Golden Knights. Oh my God. Um, the Vegas Golden Knights screwed me again this last time I picked them, but I'm picking them this time because they're at home again. Ugh, so I'm taking Golden Knights.
Well, you're finally right about a pick. So the
You
Knights are
think?
going to win. They're going to defend home court. They're going to revenge their game from Friday night.
I know. They fucked me there. They really did.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Knights as well.
Yeah, why don't you just jump on the caboose there, Kyle? Yeah, I'll
Just
take them.
taking the home teams. That's all
Oh,
I'm doing.
these guys are pretty smart. I'm going to do what they say.
Yeah.
Well, not these guys are pretty smart, but
The idiot and the smart guy both picked the same team. I can't go wrong there.
Yep.
Um, Last two games are NBA. We got the LA Lakers at the Philadelphia 76ers. Again, I'm going to start this off again. The LA Lakers fucked me again last time. And I think they were at home. I can't remember, but they fucked me. I have no faith in Philadelphia. I have some faith in the Lakers. So I'm going with the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Lakers. 76ers are trash.
Yeah.
they are, but they screwed me. Paul George is a game time decision and beat is out. I'm gonna go Lakers. Even though LeBron's a game time decision.
Thanks for dragging
LeBron,
us along there.
LeBron plays.
You think
LeBron
so?
plays. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Then it's definitely.
Then the final one is the Houston Rockets again at the Atlanta Hawks. Man, oh man. I do not like the logo of the Houston Rockets. And I
Yeah,
like
but
the.
it's gonna be the Houston Rockets.
Oh, so you're taking the Houston Rockets? There you go. There you go. Well, I'm taking the Hawks because I like their logo better. They're at home. So.
I was hoping you'd go Rockets too, so I could take the Hawks. Well, it's gonna be they're both coming off a back-to-back. The Rockets are gonna be worn out from the Celtics. So the Hawks are gonna again, they're not gonna play in the fourth quarter because they're gonna get slaughtered. So they're basically not even a back-to-back.
So-
So the Hawks will win.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
I'm just mad that you also picked them.
Suck it, Kyle. Well, that's that. So after Tuesday, we'll have a rough idea who might unofficially have won because we might already know that. If not, we'll have to wait till the Super Bowl. Other than that, do you guys have any other thoughts, things you want to say? Otherwise, we're just about done.
Uh, Ben, can I ask you not who you think, but who do you want to win the Super Bowl? Do you want the Chiefs to win?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I want the
Okay,
Chiefs to
okay.
win. Yeah.
Because you hate Philly, or you just like the Chiefs?
Well, it's a multi-parter there. I hate Philly.
Mm.
So that's its own separate thing. But I appreciate greatness and people who are actually good and who have earned victories versus, like, I don't know, hypothetical, like a Lamar Jackson who's just given awards but doesn't actually like earn them by winning games. So
If it was
at the end of the day, whoever wins, if they earned it, I'll appreciate it. But I hate Philly more than I would possibly dislike the Chiefs.
if it was the Commanders, would you still pick? Would you still want the Chiefs, or would you be like, let's get Daniels?
That's a tough one
Okay.
because I think Daniels might be him.
Okay.
So I could see myself being like,
You
this
don't-
Daniels guy is just special. I want to watch somebody be special. But I mean, Mahomes is obviously already special, so it's
Right.
like I already have a special guy. Do I need a second special guy?
You always need a backup.
Yes, I mean,
And then don't forget a
I
backup
also
to a backup. So
yeah.
3.
I think there's
You
a
need 3.
chance that Jaden Daniels is a bright flame that burns fast.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's got a small frame, electric runner.
It's average, okay?
So yeah,
I
he's
think
average.
I think he's like a better Lamar though. Like
Yeah.
throwing the ball like a actual quarterback,
How
which you
dare
think a quarterback would be.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Jaden's already like 24. he's old. So it's not like he's coming in like Lamar was 19 when he came into the league. So if Jaden has a long career, 10 years,
Yeah.
is probably the max that he's going to be like
As long as he's
able to
productive,
be
I
a
guess.
guy.
Yeah. As
So I think
long as
there's
he's
just
productive.
short window there for him.
Yeah.
Well, boys, I will say this. It will be a victory in a way that since none of us live in Philadelphia, we will get to reap the benefits of watching the Philadelphia fan base either riot because they lost or riot because they won. Because what was it, 2018 or 2019, whenever they won the last Super Bowl, they went crazy. So,
Did, did they riot the last time they lost?
um,
And they lost to the Chiefs a couple years ago?
that wasn't in the Super Bowl though,
Yeah, they
No.
lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was
remember there
two
was
Super Bowls ago now, right?
the Chiefs were awarded pass interference, even though it was a very
Yeah.
uncatchable ball
Like
and
2022?
led to a touchdown.
I don't remember
It
now.
was a defensive holding, not a pass interference. And
Sorry,
so
yeah,
the catchability of the ball is irrelevant.
yeah, it was
Um,
it was a bad call.
I don't remember.
but
I don't
the
remember.
better
Well,
cons the better conspiracy is that the Chiefs rigged the field by making the turf sloppier and
I
like
haven't heard that
more
one.
cleats that actually worked.
Is
That
that
was the big one. That
the
is
was the
that
big
Packers
one.
actually a
Yeah.
thing?
Turfgate.
the
I don't think
Packers
I
like
heard
to
that.
do that back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
Back
That
in
was
the day.
the better conspiracy is the Chiefs wore the appropriate cleats for the turf and
I never heard
Eagles didn't.
that.
Well,
Well, they'll learn this time, I guess.
Yeah.
Wear the right cleats.
Yeah. Look out for Turfgate.
well, other than that, I appreciate you guys all coming on, and
Yeah.
Ben, we'll have to have you back on, and we'll definitely have to have you on with Michael and or Ryan, because that would be a hoot. Um,
Yeah.
because yeah, it's especially when you get Michael going, he's fun, and he didn't get going on the first one. He got a little going, but not enough. So, but yeah. Other than that, if you guys got anything else to say, we'll close this baby out.
Oh, oh, thanks for having me on. This is
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Nice to
yeah.
meet you, Ben. So,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
too.
it is nice to meet you, Ben. So, other than that, folks, enjoy this. We'll be doing another podcast next week. Have two people on, and other than that, just go subscribe to Everything Mustard Cats on all of our social media, and don't forget our YouTube because that's our main source of the main podcast. And then we do have a website. Go check it out at www.mustardcats.com. Other than that, make sure you put a punishment in the comments. Hopefully, I don't have to do it because hopefully I picked all the right people. But my track record is pretty trash, so whatever. Other than that, you guys have a great time and a great night, and I guess we'll watch the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. So think about it and